Hello, welcome to another video. My hands are covered in paint. I'm just always covered in paint these days. I can't remember getting it off. I am going to be testing out some pens in this video. This is some more Ohuhu pens. I've received two different sets of pens from Ohuhu. One was the paint pens, where I did the cool animal illustration, and then before that I got sent these alcohol pens. I don't know what the official name was, but I got sent these and I did this portrait, quite realistic face drawing, so it couldn't be more different actually what I did in these two videos. But I've always been really impressed with the Ohuhu products, and I always think they're just really good value for money, so when they reached out asking if I wanted to try out some more, I'm always happy to do so because I just think they're quite good. I think these are meant to be the kind of step up from the other ones I got sent. I mean, already the packaging, it's got a bit scuffed. It's got a bit of paint on it. The packaging is already a step up. It's quite nice, much nicer bag, and also the pens are different. I'll have to talk through it in a voiceover properly and compare the two, but let's have a look. Oh, okay. That doesn't stay open. It is a pen, basically. They are alcohol pens, so you can blend them, layer them, and all that good stuff. A brush on one end, a chisel on the other, but it's not any old brush, it's a supreme brush, which means it's better. So I'll need to have fun testing out what makes this so supreme. And then as well as the pens, they also sent me this sketchbook, which I have to say is it's quite heavy for the actual size of it. It's hefty. It feels really nice quality, and this is special paper just for these alcohol markers, and it's perforation station, so you can rip out the pages. So I guess I'll start the video like I always start these product review videos. I will test out all the colours, have a little play, and then make something. Don't know what, but I'm going to make something. Okay, after I tested out my colours, I moved on to trying out a portrait. I always default back to portraits in these product testing videos. I just think it's a great way to layer, play around with layering, and I used to do so many portraits. It's like riding a bike, it all just came flying back to me. I started off by doing a study of an artist's work. I found this artist I found them on Pinterest, and then I stalked them on Instagram because their work was just amazing, called on Instagram, Gambrel _ so many amazing portrait drawings, paintings, very inspiring. I picked one of my favourites and I decided to do a study of it because I wanted to try and make my portraits more colourful and a little bit more illustrative, and because I felt the portraits I've done in the past have all been quite realistic, and I don't know, the colours are the colours that are actually there, but this was I wanted to do something more fun, so I thought I'll do a practice of just studying this guy's work, so to take all the pressure away, because all the creative decisions had already been made. I just had to copy, and then I would take what I learned and applied that to a portrait of, my own portrait of a photograph I found online of a person. I really enjoy the way these pens layer with pencil. I think they're just such a good combination. The pens as the first layer, and then just going on top with some hatching with the pencil, and having quite sharp lines on top. I just think it looks pretty cool. And then I moved on to another face. I sketched it all out. I didn't film sketching because it's pretty boring. Lots of just measuring, and it's quite slow. I draw so faintly as well, you just can't really see anything happening. And I drew so faintly that when it came to, because half of the face was all in shadow, when it came to adding that shadow onto the face, I basically just lost my sketch entirely. So that when it came to doing the left eye, it was just an absolute disaster. I had no sketch, I had nothing to go off, so I was trying to fix it and it was a struggle. The left eye on this piece it's not the best. It's not my finest work, and it didn't go so well, so I decided to redeem myself with another portrait, which turned out very, very good in my opinion, so you'll see that in a second. So let's talk about the pens. I really enjoy the colour selection of these, especially compared to the last set I tried out. When I last got sent these pens, I got sent, I'm not sure exactly the name of the set, but there was one set of just a bunch of different colours, but the main thing that was lacking was there just wasn't many like pale colours, pastel colours, so I also got sent a pastel set alongside the other set, which helped even out the fact that there weren't many lighter colours. But in this set there's like a really good range of colours, from very, very dark to very, very light, which is nice to see because the light colours come in very handy, especially for portraits. I'm doing all those highlights, bits and bobs, so with these portraits I started off with just the palest colours and just worked darker and darker. One thing with this, well, back on the colours, one thing I did notice, there's a lot of greys, a lot of cool, like there's a mixture of like cool tone, warm tone, but a good chunk of the colours are just grey, which I'm sure some people would find that useful, but for me, I didn't pick up, I think I used one grey pen for the entirety of all the art I made in this video, so I would much prefer if those grey pens got replaced with other colours. But I didn't really feel like colours were lacking. Maybe like a warm green would have been useful, because you can just layer these pens, you can just put down green and add a yellow layer on top and you've got a warm green. Like, you can basically mix any colour you want with these colours. But yeah, I'm being nitpicky. Less grey, more other things. But I'm sure some people would find that grey useful, it's just I'm not that person. Anyway, onto the sketchbook. This, I was looking online and it is advertised as a double-sided sketchbook. And for the most part, like, I didn't have any issues with the paper at all. I mean, I layered it on thick and there's not a single bit of bleeding through to the other side of paper. Like, you can just layer and layer and layer and it is not getting through to the other side, so that's impressive. But yeah, so it's called a double-sided sketchbook, but when I was doing the portrait on the left side of the page, or technically like the back side of the paper, I noticed when I was layering up, because I had, like I mentioned, quite a lot of issue with that left eye because I'd lost my sketch, and also that whole side of the face was in shadow, so I needed to layer up quite a lot of dark colours, and maybe I was over layering to try and fix the mistake. So it's probably a mixture of like a skill issue and just messing up my drawing basically. And also I just feel like on the left side of the page, layering up multiple dark colours on top of each other left like this kind of shiny look where it looked like the pen wasn't really soaking into the paper, which I never really experienced on the right side of the paper. So yeah, I'm not really sure what that was about, whether it was just me being bad and layering up too many dark colours on top of each other. But then I did do a test on the right side of the paper and I just layered like a bunch of black on top of each other, like just so many coats, and I never really noticed it getting the same kind of shiny effect that it got on the left side of the paper. So for the most part it is double-sided and I had no issues with it, but just for those few little bits where I needed to layer up a super dark colour, I did notice it kind of pooling a little bit just on the left side. But again, I also can't remember because I was trying frantically to save this portrait of the girl with the blue hair because I just really didn't like it. So now I was kind of going back between, like, I do a bit with pencil and a bit with pen. So I was layering pen on top of pencil in a few areas, which probably wasn't helping. Yeah, with these pens, I feel like once you put the pencil down, then leave it. Don't go back on with the pen, because it doesn't. The pencil is perfectly fine on top of the pen, but the pen's not the best on top of the pencil. Here's past me talking about some stuff. Right, so I've just finished drawing these portraits. I used mainly, I'll show you exactly all the colours I used because they're all out on my desk. These are all the colours I used mainly from what I can remember. So these are the colours I used from this set, but then so I used that for these two, but then for this face I ended up taking a few colours from my other set, which is like all pastel colours like that, and then the colours I picked from there were these ones. Just like I felt I needed a bit more colour for a variety for this one, although I might have been able to do it without these, but these were just helpful. And then I ended up adding some pencils to it. These are just my Faber-Castell Polychromo pencils. And then I used a few of my Artex pencils as well. And then my Caran d'Ache Luminance fancy white pencil. Oh, and then I also used, for just a few little fun bits like that, my Neocolor crayons. So a little bit mixed media, but mainly was the pens. But I loved the way pencils look on top of the pens. And I was trying to, I don't know, I was trying to have fun with these and not get too realistic and hatching with the pencil. This one, I'm sure I've spoken about it in a voiceover. I don't like the way this turned out. I'm not sure, well, it's a mixture of me just struggling, and I'm not sure if this sketchbook is only, if this paper is like single-sided, because I found on this side of the page the pens were kind of, the darker colours were kind of pooling after a few layers. I don't know how to explain it, and going shiny, like they weren't properly soaking in. So I don't know if it's because this is the back side of the paper, if this meant to be single-sided paper. I'm not sure. I mean, it did decent. It was just on the few of the darker colours where I really layered it on, it started to just kind of pool and go shiny, and especially on this eye here where it was really dark and I needed to do that, it just kind of, yeah, it was just a bit of a disaster. But I'm sure I spoke about that in a voiceover. But I thought this could be a good opportunity to test out how easy this paper rips. Oh, that was nice and satisfying. Oh, that was my original play around with these pens, because I was testing out, I think it might be just single-sided because I don't know how well it's coming across on camera, but the darkness here started to pool and get quite, I don't know the official terminology, but it was like, it wasn't like it was soaking into the paper. So then I really layered on the dark here, like loads and loads of layers, and I didn't see that happen. So I think it might just be, it's hard to tell. I mean, it looks the same. Trying to compare. I don't know. Mystery. Maybe I should look into it. But I might just tell you what, let's fix it. There we go. It's like there was nothing there, although you can see. Ignore that. Anyway, now I want to move on to something more fun, although I did actually really enjoy doing these, but I want to do something more illustrative and potentially collage. So I'm thinking of drawing something and then cutting it out and arranging it, and I'm thinking about doing some characters. I want to do something with these characters I drew for my last Ohuhu, testing out those paint pens. Where are they hiding? They are in here somewhere. Just my fun little animal characters. I kind of like the idea of, where is it? It's here somewhere. This frog on a unicycle. So maybe like a few animals all on different bikes, like a unicycle, a tricycle, one of those bikes with the really big wheels. Is it called a penny farthing? I don't know. Something like that maybe. And maybe just frogs, because I feel like I've got quite a few fun frog designs. I'll have a play. I will see what I come up with. So I've been busy these past few hours. I'll show you my sketch. I sketched out these two guys, and then I took a picture of these, took them into Photoshop, and then I just added on some colour quickly on Photoshop so I could figure out what on earth I was going to do for this piece. Then I spent, I don't know, a bit of time trying to colour match on here and to get enough of each colour so that I could cut out everything and maybe have a few attempts. I've done a bit of adding texture to things, but I'm probably going to add most of my texture after I've cut out the piece, and then I can add texture onto the piece once it's cut out, because I'll need texture in specific places, which I'll only know once I have the piece cut out. I've then traced my sketch, that the Photoshop thing that I did, and this is my template, which I'm going to use to cut out all my shapes. And we'll see what happens after I've done that. I'm going to go back into everything with like pencils and crayons and with the pens as well. So let's rip these out. Okay, these are my sheets. If you watched my videos in the past, you know that I usually do my collaging from, I usually collage from paper which I paint with acrylic paint, and I try and get a bunch of different texture. So let's try it with these papers. So what I'm going to do is find the colour, hold the tracing paper over it, figure out the best bit to cut out, Like for the pants, for instance, I might want like the shadow closer to like the crotch or the bum area, so I might try and like line it up with this dark bit. The tracing paper is nice because it's see-through, obviously, so you can see exactly which bit you're going to cut out. Do that for all my pieces, and then I will come back and add a bunch more texture. Okay, moving on to the final piece of art, and I love these two frogs. I think I might turn them into either a print or a sticker, or maybe both for my next shop update, because they are so special. And I just really enjoyed this. I want to do this more. I love the texture they make and being able to create really subtle shadows. And then I even started using the paint pens from my last product review video, which was such a great addition. Just this combination, I loved it. It was like I had so much more control than I have with my painted collage papers. But then I still had like that fun, loose look, if that makes sense. I don't know, does it look loose? There's like scribbliness on it, which I think looks loose. I just love it. I think it's so nice, and I feel like I've had a breakthrough with my illustration with this piece. Anyway, back onto the pens, because this is a pen review video. Let's talk money. So this 36 set costs £36, which is very easy to do the maths for. So each pen costs £1. Then I was looking at, I suppose, this Ohuhu's could be like biggest competitor, the most well-known alcohol marker brand, which is Copics. I'm sure you've heard of them if you know about art supplies. I wanted to do a kind of price comparison, so I was looking at similar size sets. So I was looking at other 36 pen sets, and honestly the price is just shocking. It's mad. The price, I couldn't find a set price. Everywhere was selling it for different prices, but on the Copic website they were selling a 36 set for like £200 or something mad. I was struggling to find anywhere for cheaper than 100. So I can't be bothered doing the maths there, but it doesn't take a genius to know that a lot more expensive. Now, personally, I've never used a Copic, so obviously, who am I to say? But I just think these pens are such great value for money. It's £1 per pen. Obviously, I don't know how long the longevity of the pens, but I just really enjoyed them. And I had so much fun making this, and I wish I could talk more about the art, but I've ran out of footage, and I've said all I can say in the time we have today. All in all, my review, really enjoy them. So it comes as no surprise to hear me say, yes, if you're looking for alcohol pens on a budget, I would recommend them. And I really want to use them more, because this art speaks for itself. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Obviously, I'm not very knowledgeable on alcohol pens. I use them rarely, and I've only ever used Ohuhu pens, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Is that the saying? But as someone who enjoys making art and has had a lot of experience making art, I have no complaints with these pens. Hope you've enjoyed this video and just see me make some art that's, well, especially the portraits is very different from what I usually do on this channel. The frogs not so much, but there you go. So 2 very different pieces of art getting made, and see you guys later. Goodbye.